Hello and welcome everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can perfectly mount an ESP-32 board on a breadboard. If you would have tried mounting an ESP-32 board on a breadboard, you would have observed that after mounting the board, there's hardly any space left for the rest of the components. To solve this problem, what we are going to do is, we're going to combine two of the breadboards together so that we can easily and perfectly mount our ESP-32 board. So now before we can combine two of the breadboards, we would like to remove the vertical power line from one of the breadboards. Now after removing the vertical power line from one of the breadboards, this is what we have. To ensure proper distance between the two breadboards, what we are going to do is, we're going to first insert the ESP-32 board into the very first row of the first breadboard. We will be using this particular row for our purpose. Now once we have inserted the ESP-32 on the first breadboard, we have to use the very first row of the second breadboard for inserting the rest of the pins. Now once we have done this, you can see that the ESP-32 board has been perfectly fitted on both the breadboards. Now to prevent both the breadboards from getting separated, we have pasted both of them on a piece of hard plastic. As you can see, now we can easily mount even two ESP-32 boards on our combined breadboard, leaving much space for the rest of the components. Now if you have a power supply module like this, we can even mount this on the combined breadboard. Now once we do this, we have a combined bigger breadboard with an onboard power supply unit on top of it. This onboard power supply that we have added to our breadboard will come really handy if we want to run bigger loads of your ESP-32 board. For example, if you want to control bigger loads using your ESP-32 board, like this relay module, which is a 5-volt dual channel relay module. In this particular case, you will be needing enough power so that your relay module can work properly. Since your ESP-32 module cannot provide that kind of power, so we will be consuming the power component from the power supply. Only the control component will be coming from the ESP-32 board. Now before we can proceed, there is a small change that we need to make to our breadboard. For the sake of simplicity, I have removed the ESP-32 boards, and now what we have is the onboard power supply on top of our combined breadboard. Now if you closely observe, on the combined breadboard, we have a red and a blue line. In the electronics world, the red line always corresponds to the positive terminal of the power supply, and the blue or sometimes the black line corresponds to the negative terminal of the power supply. The power supply that we are using is capable of providing 3.3 volts and 5 volts. We can use these jumpers to make the appropriate selection. If we want 3.3 volt on the left power rail, all we need to do is connect this jumper to the first and second pin on this side. To be able to get 5 volts on the right power rails, we need to connect this jumper like this. Now once we have appropriately connected the jumpers on the module, we can power it up. This module can be powered up using a 5 volts power supply or a 12 volts power adapter. If your module or your project is going to need a maximum of 3.3 volts, then it is absolutely fine to power up this module using an external 5 volts adapter. For our use case, since we need 5 volts to power up our ESP-32 modules, we will be using a 12 volts power supply. Now if you see here, we have a 12 volts power adapter. Now we are going to connect this power adapter to our power supply module. Now let me try and power it up. Now to turn on the module, please press the button over here. Now you can see that the green light on the module is turned on. Now once we have the onboard power supply unit up and running, let's measure the voltages that we have. To measure the voltage, I am going to use a multimeter. Before I can measure the voltage, let me connect two wires, a red wire on the left power rail and again a blue wire on the left power rail. Here we have a black and a red probe. Let's connect the black to the blue one and the red to the red one. Now we can see we are getting a voltage of 3.27 volts on the left power rail, which is pretty close to 3.3 volts. Let us repeat the same process with the right power rail and measure the voltages. Now let us measure the voltages on the right power rail. Here we can see that we are getting a very stable voltage of 5 volts on the right power rail. Now let us see how we can power up the ESP-32 board. If you see here, we have the V-in pin and the ground pin. All we need to do is we have to connect the red connector to the V-in pin and the blue connector to the ground. Once we have connected this, let's turn on the power supply. And now we can see that the ESP-32 board has powered up and the onboard blue LED has started to blink. We will be using this breadboard setup in all my upcoming video tutorials on Internet of Things. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for upcoming videos.